Hello everyone. So today I'll discuss about overthinking. It was supposed to start with you. So you know what's funny? Some of us can create full documentaries inside our heads. From one delayed text reply, like suddenly they hate me. I embarrassed myself. My future is ruined. I should move to the mountains. All because someone replied with okay. And honestly, overthinking is exhausting. Not because thinking is bad, thinking is useful. Thinking helps us survive, thinking helps us plan. But overthinking, that's different. Right or wrong? You can share your comments if you think that I'm wrong. If you don't agree, overthinking is when your brain becomes a courtroom, a detective agency, and a disaster movie director at the same time. Yeah, because you decide everything by yourself. You replay conversations, you analyze expressions, you imagine outcomes that haven't even happened. And you know why? That's the craziest part. You know what? It's most of the things we fear never actually happen. Yet our body reacts as if everything is already collapsing. And I think many people don't realize this. Overthinking is often expressed emotion wearing a logic costume. You are not always searching for answers. Sometimes you are searching for emotional safety. And once I understood that, I started asking myself a different question. Not what if everything goes wrong, but what am I actually feeling right now? That question changes everything. Because sometimes you are not confused, you are hurt. Sometimes you're not thinking deeply, you are anxious. So I really don't know what means thinking deeply. So I become anxious because sometimes you are not being realistic, you are afraid of disappointment. And instead of feeling the emotion, we feel intellectualize it. We create theories, patterns, scenarios, future timelines. But everything is not at all going on the right time. Meanwhile, the emotion inside is just quietly asking, can you please acknowledge me? That particular emotion. And I remember sitting one evening with 10 tabs open in my mind. Not on my laptop, in my brain. Oh, I'm supposed to do this, and that. And one conversation. Three future fears. Five imagined outcomes. An existential crisis, and somehow also wondering whether I should cut my hair or not. Like, why are human beings like this? So many tabs are opening. And then I realized something important. Overthinking gives the illusion of control, that we can control everything. And what exactly I did? I just cut my hair. It makes us feel like if we think enough, analyze enough, prepare enough, then maybe life cannot hurt us. I came out of a parlor and then I realized, oh, I was just supposed to do this. But life does not work that way. You cannot think yourself into complete safety. At some point, you have to live, you have to feel. that not all the emotions are important. You have to let moments exist without interrogating them. And honestly, that is terrifying for overthinkers because feeling requires vulnerability. Okay, thinking keeps us distant, feeling makes things roll. And maybe that is why some people stay trapped in mental loops for years. Not because they are weak, but because feeling honestly can feel overwhelming. But healing begins when you stop treating emotions like enemies. Emotions are not enemies. Emotions are just emotions. You want to cry, you cry. You want to laugh, you laugh. Because sadness is not always destruction. Confusion is not failure. Fear is not proof that you should stop living. Sometimes emotions are just temporary weather systems, not permanent identities. And I think social media accidentally made overthinking worse. Because now everyone is optimizing, healing, manifesting, tracking red flags, watching psychology videos, trying to decode every human interaction like FBI agents. But it's not required. At this point, half the internet is emotionally exhausted detectives. It's not required at all. And while awareness is important, constant hyper analysis disconnects us from actual living. And actual living is just go to your work, come back to your work, eat your food, and sleep. Not every silence means abandonment. Not every delayed response means rejection. Not every uncertain phase means your life is doomed. I've also seen failures. I used to give 15 applications for my job. Sometimes people are just busy. Sometimes life is messy. Sometimes things are simply unclear for a while. And nobody used to reply. And I used to think, oh, how horrendous those people are. And uncertainty is uncomfortable. But uncertainty is also normal, right? One thing I started practicing was this: instead of asking, what does this mean? I started asking, how does this make me feel? At some point of time, I started feeling, oh, that's good, then my application have not been approved. Now I can pay attention to my yoga classes. Because feeling was faster than the analysis. Because your body usually knows before your mind admits it. And after that, I started getting approvals. You feel heavy around certain people, calm around others, drained in some environments, safe in others. And that matters. And after that, I realized that nervous system started noticing things when my logic ignoring. I noticed that no, this does not mean become impulsive and dramatic. I'm not supposed to give or send like 20 applications. So please don't quit your job because of one sad playlist. What I mean is, stop abandoning your emotions just because they are inconvenient. Feelings are information, not weaknesses. And honestly, some of the most peaceful moments in life happen when you stop mentally narrating everything. Like drinking coffee slowly, watching rain, traveling without posting immediately, laughing with friends, walking at sunset, sitting quietly near the ocean. So this doesn't need narration. You're drinking coffee. This is not supposed to be narrated. So you realize life is happening right now, not only inside your thoughts. So that is something that overthinkers forget because we live in anticipation, future conversations, future fears, future disasters, what can happen, what will happen. Meanwhile, the present moment is standing there like, hello, I exist too. Why are you ignoring me? And the truth is, many of us are mentally elsewhere even during beautiful moments. We are physically present but emotionally buffering. And maybe that's why rest feels impossible sometimes. So, what we need is that your body is sitting in a room, but your mind is living in 12 imaginary timelines. 12 imaginary. No wonder you are tired. So, what helps? First, slow down your consumption. Too much information creates emotional noise. Second, move your body. Walking helps more than people realize. Your brain untangles while moving. And third, stop trying to solve emotions immediately. Not every feeling needs instant fixing. Sometimes you just need to sit with it gently. Fourth, talk honestly with yourself. Not motivational quotes, not fake positivity, real honesty. I feel overwhelmed, I feel lonely, I feel uncertain, I feel scared. So complete the sentences. You feel scared. Why? That honesty creates emotional environment. And fifth is practice presence intentionally. It means eat slower, listen fully. So when I say listen fully, it means that you notice the details, watch sunsets without recording them. Train your nervous system to experience life instead of constantly documenting or analyzing it. I also used to document. Sometimes I also start documenting, but let me say something very important. Feeling is not weakness. Crying is not weakness. Sensitivity is not weakness. Emotional depth is also not weakness. Actually, many emotionally intelligent people feel deeply. The difference is they don't drown in every feeling. You know why? Because they allow emotions to pass through instead of building permanent homes inside them. That takes practice. And no, you will not suddenly stop overthinking overnight. Do not think like that. Your brain has probably been protecting you this way for years. But little by little, you can teach yourself safety again. You can learn that uncertainty is survivable, silence is survivable, rejection is survivable, change is survivable. You are stronger than your mental spirals. And maybe the goal is not becoming someone who never thinks deeply. Maybe the goal is becoming someone who can think deeply without abandoning peace. So here you're not getting obsessed, but you're just reflecting. Someone who can reflect without obsessing, feel without collapsing, care without losing themselves. And that balance matters. So here I mean that next time your brain starts creating 20 future disasters at 2 a.m., pause, take a breath. Okay, take a deep breath. Do a deep breathing and ask yourself, am I trying to solve something or am I avoiding a feeling? Because tomorrow, all the things not going to happen. They not happen tomorrow itself. Okay. So that question might change your entire relationship with yourself. Tomorrow will happen only one thing. Because life is not meant to be fully controlled. Your future tasks meant are not to be fully controlled. It's supposed to be experienced messily, honestly, emotionally, beautifully. So what required at 2 a.m. is maybe healing that begins the moment you stop trying to overthink your humanity and finally allow yourself to feel it. And maybe that's what healing really is. Not becoming fearless overnight, not having every answer, not silencing every overthinking thought. Maybe healing is simply learning to trust your own heart again. To stop treating life like a problem you must solve and start experiencing it like a moment you are allowed to live. So, if your mind feels loud today, pause for a second and look outside the window. Call someone you love. Take that small trip. Watch the sunset without turning it into content. Feel your life instead of constantly analyzing it. You're not supposed to analyze this. Because the truth is, your soul was never asking you to have everything figured out. It was only asking you to be present. And maybe, just maybe, peace begins the moment you stop overthinking every step and finally allow yourself to feel the journey. So, feel the journey and stay happy. Healing and balance is going on this month, and I hope that you get healed and you get the chance to create a balance in your life. It's really important to have a balance. If you can't behave in balance, and it really creates a lot of chaos. I myself have experienced it. So if you have any doubts, or if you really want to share an experience, you can share it and share your comments. Thank you.